What's up, guys? We are casting another replay of the good old Dontent. It's Artie spawning in on the west side as the Roost, playing against LaSh as the HRE on the south side of Frisian Marshes. We just saw a replay of Don right before this, playing against Estif in the Wololo qualifiers game right before this, and there was a little bit of drama because the game, it essentially, Don Artie and LaSh had already played. Don Artie lost, and this was the best of three round, but he ended up having to play Estif beforehand because there was a little bit of mix-up before that. So Don Artie did not want to give his build away. He knew this would be the same matchup, and this was the original build he wanted to do. So we're going to see how it was different. Last game, he went with a super fast feudal age timing of 330, but this one looks like he's going with a little more of the typical build order. Grabbing up all that sheep on the map, hitting up some of those deer, actually both of the deer on his side as well as the wolves. And on Frisian Marshes, there are those extra deer all over the map, or extra sheep all over the map, which not only helps the roost, but also helps the HRE. We know they are a civ that loves to stay under their town center, not have to expand further out until they get that security once they hit Castle Age, once they hit Imperial Age, able to transition into farms, all that sort, and get to that late game that they love, especially if they have secured some relics. As far as relics go, we noticed there are a couple nice and easy. It kind of looks like for LaSh to get, so those will be hard for Don Artie to deny. See if he has any ideas about that. See what his total overall game plan is. Huge amount of sheep drop off already for Don Artie. Just going with that typical build though that we always see with the two on the wood line, grabbing out a ton of that bounty all across the map, spots out where the boar are, and after all of that, most likely should go pressure the gold mine of LaSh because he should have the extra scout differential. I don't know if I see that. Might just be two scouts. Nope, he doesn't have the extra scouts. He just went with the two scout opening, so saving a little bit of that early food. No real need because the way the map is, it's kind of directional with where your scouts go, so it's not like you can really explore a lot more of the map with that extra scout. It might not, Don Artie might not think it really does pay dividends. Already at that 275 bounty, so won't be anything to complain about. And after a lot of those sheep go down easily above the 300, going up with the golden gate, just as expected. 6 bills on top of it, starting to send over to the wood line now. Has those 4 bills on the food still to be able to non-stop produce villagers. So really good solid build by Don so far. LaSh, obviously same thing over here. Sent a couple onto the wood and actually has a prelate inspiring the wood bills, which is not typically what you see, but might just be to be able to drop a proactive outpost on his gold to not allow any shenanigans from the other side. Chapel being finished with 3 villagers, it will get the wood line, get the sheep, get the berries, and not the gold, but can just send an extra prelate over to the gold if need be. A little bit of extra bounty denial from LaSh, but Don's already where he wants to be. He's at 275 and will be, like we said, much higher than that by the time a lot of those sheep get killed. Don's starting to build up a good little food reserve. He's still got a good little gold reserve because he never opted for the wheelbarrow, and I wonder what he's going to use that gold for. If he's going to go with the fast castle, or if he's just going to maybe trade it in with some tickets and go with that more aggressive boar build. But the boar are both quite far away. You can actually pull those together probably in between the forest and get a TC on both of those. So wonder if we end up seeing that. And Don moves forward with 6 villagers. It might just be a little bit of a wooden fortress rush because it's not the boar. The boar are too far away, and you can tell by the angle that he's going. This is going to be a wooden fortress rush. Proactive outpost already being built. Problem is, LaSh, cancel that and build it more forward. He doesn't have it in a good positioning without the upgrades. Don can still build an outpost right here, and the outpost on the opposite side won't be able to do anything. Hasn't gathered the stone he needs to upgrade it yet. He actually moved off the stone to go back to the gold. Don can move up even further if he wanted. The big thing for Don, though, He has already traded in, as you just saw the 150 stone pop into the bank, he has traded in the gold at the Golden Gate for stone in the bank. Will immediately be able to get arrow slits and deny both gold mines out of LaSh. Immediately gets arrow slits upgrade. It is not in range yet. Where is he going to circle around to with the 6 vills? Another wooden fortress being dropped again. Arrow slits halfway there. 10 seconds left, 8 seconds left. Don still has enough for 2 more arrow slits upgrade if he so desires. Pulling the low health Vill back, jumping in the outpost, and just when we say that, we'll start being able to deny the Vills on the gold. First Vill goes down. First scout goes down. And Don still has 6 villagers in the base of LaSh. It's going to be hard for LaSh to move out if Don continues to build more and more of these wooden fortresses. Even if he has the resources to go up to castle, you see he has the gold to go up to castle. He can focus everyone on to the food now. The problem is how is he going to be able to break out of this? Is it going to be a Burgrave? Is he going to have enough gold once he finishes the Burgrave to be able to do anything with? 2 vills moving out on the opposite side. Don Artie, he's got a scout that is running right towards them. So super unfortunate for the side of LaSh. Don Artie was ready for any sort of movement coming out from that side. Finishes up yet another outpost. Again, can get arrow slits on all 3 of these if he so desires. Doesn't quite have the gold yet for the last one, but with the next trickle in of the hunting cabin with 10 more gold, we'll be able to get arrow slits on the last tower if he so did. And a forward second TC. Oh my. I said second TC in between both boar, but a proxy second TC. This is so aggressive. This is something we have not seen. LaSh still not up to the castle age, or doesn't quite have the resources to do so, but all of the vills under the town center on top of that food, as you see, and will be able to go up soon. Wonder if he's going to opt for the Burgrave, or wonder if he is going to just go with that typical Regnants. Not only is Don going for a little bit of wooden fortress rush, she wants to wall off this western side and not allow LaSh to have any room to breathe. Wants to know every single move and know exactly where every single villager is going to be. 10 villagers on top of the Burgrave. Don already spots it out. Like I said, he has full vision of the whole entire base of LaSh right now. Has his scout get taken out, but is finishing up the wall on the western side. Double stables drop, moving over to the gold for Don Artie. You can't forget, now he's got that second TC working on the shoreline fish, and not only is it on the shoreline fish, it's on the shoreline fish closest to his opponent, so he is stealing over the resources, the safe resources from his opponent's side, or that his opponent would think were safe at the start. Burgrave is going to finish up, but look at the resources in the bank for LaSh. He at least has found a way to get a little bit. Oh, that's how he got the gold. He dropped a market and bought up a little bit of gold, so he will be able to buy a. Oh, he's going to buy a trebuchet. He's not even going to utilize the Burgrave whatsoever. He doesn't have the food. He doesn't have the gold income to do so. Even if he produced up a ton of knights a ton of men-at-arms right now, they would immediately end up slowly going down to the fire because he wouldn't have enough, nor would he have the upgrades. So what is he opting for? He's opting for food and wood to go towards the spearmen, and to get a trebuchet out once he has the wood to do so, to start firing down on these wooden fortresses. Problem's going to be, I don't know if he realizes how close Don Artie's villagers are, because he can just pull villagers and heal up these wooden fortresses from one trebuchet, and I think he's going to need more than just one trebuchet to take these down. Don still has 3 tickets in the bank, so can always trade in, rebalance his resources. He has said, all right, that's enough gold for the time being, with a little bit of time, and that'll be enough for the 3 tickets. Going back heavy onto the wood, building a couple early knights with that gold he just gathered. Burgrave only being utilized for Spearmen at the current time, Aeroslit's towers will do a good amount of damage to Spearmen, especially considering those are not hardened Spearmen yet, not even to mention veteran Spearmen. He does not have the gold to do so. 8 gold in the bank. There's no gold coming in. I'm gonna keep mentioning it because Burgrave, it can only use Spearmen, and those Spearmen are Dark Age. They do as much damage as a villager. Look at this. 6 damage right now. Look at the villager. Oh, well, that's actually one of the buffed up villagers. They're all 12 damage. So you got your buffed up 12 damage vills instead of 6 damage spearmen. Your villagers are going to be doing more damage than... Okay, there's a normal vill. 6 damage vills, 6 damage spearmen. Your spearmen are basically negligible right now. First, Wooden Fortress on the gold starts to be taken down. Artie hasn't reacted yet, and I'm kind of surprised. Ooh, double range drop starting to mass up archers. Why is he massing up archers? Because he knows that LaSh doesn't have any armored units. He doesn't have the gold to do anything except for that trebuchet. He can also see every single thing from these wooden fortresses. He sees everything that pops out from the Burgrave. He sees the trebuchet. No Vil pull to heal up the wooden fortress. I actually am really surprised by this. He might have just opted to do so a little bit later. Or maybe he is just saying the initial wooden fortress is still denying your gold, so he doesn't even care about... Oh! He was just a little late on the pull. Oh, APM just a little low for Artie, just wasn't quite there in time, but, you know, that's not the downside of him. He has the strategy. We see the second TC Proxy with the Proxy triple archery range. It might come in late, but he knows that LaSh can't utilize Castle Age for anything. Men-at-Arms start being dropped. How did he get these? Utilizing the market, and that means all of these resources he just used were very, very inefficient as far as the market went. You can see that with the wood and the food. Utilize wood and food to buy some gold. Has a few of the men-at-arms in the mix, but again, they're men-at-arms. They're not anything crazy good within all of these heavy maces and upgrades. All of the sheep have now been ran out, the massive sheep, and LaSh is on to the berries. And if he is going to start moving and start running out of the berries, it will be a struggle for him. Hasn't opted to build too big of a mass, too big of an army, pulling back from the forward gold. Has a couple of the knights, needs to focus down the spearmen with his archers, and needs to make sure that the men-at-arms just kind of get kited around and run around stupidly until the knights are able to do a little bit of extra charge damage. Instead, men-at-arms are able to find the archers. Knights dive and go for the trebuchet. Trebuchet starts to be burned. Vill's pulled to start to re-heal the trebuchet, and that will not have any success. However, archers still taking down, still firing down upon the spearmen. The men-at-arms and spearmen jumped out and killed the Vills that were healing up the tower for Don. Tower rush has been denied. Proxy base is still here. Look at the idled Vills for Don. All those Vills are idled over there on the eastern side. He's been too distracted with this micro right now. He's been trying to do everything he can. Men-at-arms decide to pull back. Numbers of 10 men-at-arms are pulling back. He says, okay, this is enough for the time being. And is reclaiming the gold. This is where Don needs to start worrying. Except LaSh is starting to run out of food. He does have another berry bush to the western side. Don has already taken out his full initial closest fish pond as well. I think he started to grab some of these just a little bit, but never built a mill. And is moving back to the far back pond as well. He's not even going to care if the second TC goes down. As far as villager count currently, it's 56-17 for Don. It's 43 and 25 for LaSh. So LaSh is at a deficit. He also was forced onto the Burgrave. He doesn't have any relics. He's been castled for quite a while, but hasn't really been able to do anything with it except for finally break out now. Prelate was trying to move out, grab up one of those relics potentially, but LaSh is making sure to be careful with it. Does not want it to get spotted out. Does not want it to get denied by the archers or by the knights that's there. Last wooden fortress gets denied. Berry bush has been expanded out to. Gold has been reclaimed, and LaSh is starting to breathe again. Villagers just constantly moving out from where the second TC is. Don has invested quite a bit into this proxy base, and when will LaSh spot it out? He has no idea right now. Prelate is starting to move out to the relic, and this is when LaSh will finally spot out the proxy base of Don Artie. Still has a decent amount of military out, has a trebuchet, and so he could start firing down upon it. But more importantly, he has a bunch of men-at-arms, and those now are nice Castle Age men-at-arms. Those spearmen are veteran spearmen finally. Or hardened spearmen now, not veteran yet, actually. Relic picked up. Archer arrives. More archers are being pulled out and starting to snipe down the prelate. Bye-bye to the prelate. Brought back the relic just a little bit, but the trebuchet is now going to move up and go for that secondary town center that Don already built in the proxy base. Knights are still alive. Archer numbers are still alive. Archers will continue to try to snipe down the spearmen. Forward relic gets, or forward outpost gets dropped with the sprinkled out emplacement immediately going upgraded on it. And I love this by LaSh because he can also just drop relics inside these outposts to give them extra vision, give them extra damage, all of that sort. Good micro by Don Artie, pulling the knights around away from the men-at-arms, splitting up those men-at-arms, having his archers being able to run, and then raiding a couple vills on their way around as well. Secondary TC that has been working quite hard is about to go down. LaSh has 32 idle vills. Those are 29 villagers on food idled right now. Needs to move out onto the food and needs to do it fast. He's at 114 food right now. Who cares if he has Burgrave? Look at how many units he's pumping out of it. He is not able to do anything, whereas Don Artie, he's got 1,600 food in the bank. He's already back up to Castle Age with the Abbey. He's dropping double barracks. He has double stables and will go try to resecure all of the relics before LaSh can get the rest of them. Mass expedition coming out. 32 villagers are on those shoreline fish finally. Prelate moving out, trying to secure up some relics himself. And I'm not sure if LaSh knows about how many villagers are on his side of the map in the eastern side. Archers! These archers that have been kiting around these men-at-arms the whole entire time have just been non-stop running, and what do? They find more and more damage. They find more and more vill kills, and the amount of villagers they've probably killed throughout this whole time. These archers are MVP. Men-at-arms, instead of killing a proxy base, instead of killing villagers, instead of doing damage, they've been chasing around the archers, and the archers are the ones killing villagers. The archers are the one doing damage. Men-at-Arms finally decide to do exactly what I was just mentioning. Don Artie needs to pull back. LaSh is only at 48 villagers, and Don Artie's up at 73. Has a huge villager count difference right now, but needs to keep them alive. Needs to just start transitioning into a ton of military. Those are no longer early knights. They are regular knights. Men-at-Arms coming out for Don Artie as well. Rarely seen by the Roost, but we have been seeing them by Don Artie 2 games in a row. Second relic secured for LaSh. Men-at-Arms have found the wood line. Don Artie needs to react. He needs to pull back. Men-at-Arms are coming in from everywhere. This is what you see a lot of the pros do. Once they go in and they get that huge men-at-arm mass and they know their opponent does not have the military to deal with it, they will just start splitting them up and harass all different parts of the eco to just cause a ton of idle time, cause a ton of damage if they don't cause idle time, as you see with the blue villagers on the ground. Don Artie, 70 and 11. LaSh is still only at 52 vills, though he is still at a huge deficit, having to move out on the top of a ton of the shoreline fish. And again, all of the other secondary shoreline fish have started to be taken on the side for Don Artie. He is about to finish up, and he is onto the last pond on the side of LaSh, which means once LaSh finishes up these shoreline fish, he has to expand into into farms, unless it's these berries or the back deer, which aren't as efficient as the shoreline fish. Yeah, LaSh stopped producing military. He's down at 18 military. Is probably looking to go up. Whoa. Go up to Imp. As I say that, he queues up 13 men-at-arms. So he's not trying to go up to Imp. He's going up with 13 men-at-arms, maybe just spotted out the huge military mass out of Artie and had to react to that. Artie still has those massive villagers on the eastern side. It just seems like on this map, a lot of players seem to just forget about the other half of the map when both players spawn on the other side. They'll just let the other player do whatever or not even worry about it because it just always seems to go forgotten. Men-at-arms is the only thing LaSh is making out of that Burgrave, whereas Don, he's got a little mix. He's got knights, he's got men-at-arms, but more importantly for the Roost, he has those warrior monks. Those things can give that Saint's Blessing upgrade, and they can heal as well. They're not too shabby during fights themselves either. LaSh is now on to his last and final pond. He's about to run out of that fast and efficient shoreline fish. Obviously, there are 5 more in that little pond, but Artie, he's diving in. He's ready to come in and start doing some damage to LaSh again. He's feeling good. He knows he's been on 2TC for quite some time. He knows how delayed that outpost rush forced LaSh to do. And not only that, Artie's starting to get crossbows in the mix. What's the perfect counter for men-at-arms? Crossbows. A lot of times, though, you'll see people only have a couple crossbows for the men-at-arms. But the good thing Don has, he has a massive front line, and now we'll start to fill in the back line with crossbows to be able to just start shredding through all of those. A couple of the men-at-arms stragglers are still trying to find around, still trying to do some damage, and LaSh is probably pretty confused. Seeing this initial one, he's like, all right, that makes sense. But seeing the next pond having fish in it, he's like, why are these not emptied? Why are there not villagers here? And the reasons being is because he's been on his fish the whole entire time. Forward keep drop going down will be spotted out by the outpost with the key with the relic inside it and the spring placement. A couple of those men-at-arms get cleared up by the 10 knights. Couple the horsemen raid coming in, and only 3 horsemen is the attempted raid, and Artie doesn't even have to react to that or pull military back. He can basically just let his outpost with the spring emplacement kill them down. Look at how little damage they're doing. LaSh trying to move out into the fight. He sees the keep being dropped, needs to react to it, needs to do something. Spring placement is not close enough to take down the villagers. The men-at-arms are trying to attack. Spears are trying to find the knights. Crossbows are just doing enough damage in the back line. A land snake or 2 are in the mix. Those should be the ones, the primary focus for Don, but Don finishes his keep, and this will be the huge difference maker. LaSh needs to fall back. He needs to pull back. He needs to get siege in the mix. A couple of land snakes were falling behind too. If those had been in the mix as well, it could have been a ton of more AoE damage coming down. More of the berry fields trying to be moved out, and the last food is starting to be denied. LaSh is no longer going to be able to produce villagers, but not only that, he's not going to be able to go up to Imperial Age anytime soon. As I'm saying that, Imperial's already coming back. That's where all his food went. The Imperial Age is coming back, but this means all of the food's going to start going towards Swabia. It's going to go towards the Imperial Age, and he just lost a massive fight right when that came out. And there's a payoff timing for Swabia. Everything has a payoff. There's opportunity cost, and this is not a good time for LaSh to go up to Imperial. He's out of all of his food resources. He's going to need to switch into a farming eco. Trying to protect himself with these sprinkled outposts. Trebuchet turning around, trying to damage the keep, trying to heal up the keep as well, while the land snakes and men-at-arms clear up the whole entire mass there. Crossbows in the backline, firing, trying to clear up this army from trying to clear up LaSh's army. Artie has 11 crossbows in the mix. Men-at-arms back on top of the Trebuchet, but Trebuchet just keeps getting mass healed by 11 villagers on top of it. Crossbows still there, thinning out the men-at-arms over and over, and at the same time, should split off some to focus the vills. But at this point, where'd Artie's army go? LaSh is down at 56 and 16, though. He has no more food to keep gathering. He is not going to be able to keep producing this military. He has one bomber in queue and nothing else. He is struggling hard. Whereas Don Artie, look at Don Artie. He's getting upgrades. He's getting more crossbows. He's getting men-at-arms, warrior monks, and more villagers. 73 and 34. LaSh is still behind 20 villagers right now. Those outposts with the relics inside, triple outposts, all sprinkled and placed, all with the extra fire damage, just were able to do so well in defense. LaSh needs food, so what does he do? He moves up to drop a keep, but the keep is getting spotted out by Don Artie. If Don Artie reacts to this, this could be a ton of the precious villagers. We were just talking about that vill count lead, but Don Artie, he doesn't spot it out yet. Right as I say that, all of the men-at-arms turn. They react to it and start taking down a lot of the villagers. Keep might just get denied. LaSh is committing to it. He has his men-at-arms coming, but I don't know if he saw the crossbows that were not too far away. Men-at-arms will get cleared out by that crossbow mass. Don Artie's trying to clear as many villagers as possible. Does not want the keep to go up. Does not want food to be secured. And will the keep go up? Even if it does, at what cost? There were like 15. It gets denied. It goes up at like 99% and gets denied. LaSh is devastated. He's pulling vills. He's trying to do everything he can, but if those vills just get focused on by the military before they get there, the keep still won't go up. It's still at 99. Don't allow the vills to get there. Oh my god, keep finishes, 2 villagers still alive, but again, at what cost for life? He's at 27! He's at 27 economy at 26 minutes into the game! Don Artie has absolutely annihilated anything and everything. How will LaSh be able to afford anything at all? He has a bombered out, he has these relics, he has these outposts. Will this be enough? He just needs time for Swabia to print, but does he even have the food for Swabia to print? He has 64 food in the bank. He doesn't even have Swabia queued. He doesn't even have a relic or a prelate inside the chapel. There's nothing even to inspire in chapel range. One bombard, the lonely bombard, and a couple men-at-arms are out on the map for LaSh. Villagers on top of gold, bombard firing down on the keep, and what is Don Artie's plan? What will be his idea? Trebuchets coming out in the mix. He already has one moving up and still has a huge, massive army. It's 80 economy, and what did we just say for LaSh? It was 27. It's still 27. He hasn't queued up any vills. Oh, he misclicked. He clicked scouts instead of vills. Oh, I've done this mistake before. Oh no. Mass scouts. And these things take 20 seconds. These things take 20 seconds a pop. So if these were villagers, they'd be coming out at 6. But this is going to take 2 full minutes for those scouts to end up coming out. And that could have been like at least 10 to 15 villagers right now. Oh no. He's going to see 10 scouts on his wood line and realize. Oh god. First outpost gets taken down. Bomber trying to do everything it can, but the men-at-arms are just going to run up. Are there vills there? There's not going to be vills there to heal this one up like last time. The reason being, he doesn't have any vills like at all. Oh, Scout's still coming out. Oh, this is just devastating. It looked like he had an opportunity still for a comeback, at least. Like he was he had time. He's been holding somewhat well. He is now crushed, though. He is now crippled right now. There's no extra vills on this wood line. He's probably so confused, and that was a ton of extra food as well. Those were 70 food a pop rather than 17, and it's been multiple minutes. This is why the global queue's on the bottom left. You can see this now. Oh, finally realizes it. He pulls the scouts out. He hates to see this. He doesn't even know what to do. I might forfeit if I were them, but this is Wololo. He's not going to forfeit this. He wants to try to move on to the next round. Don Artie, though, has a massive trebuchets. He is still an age behind. LaSh still has a chance in this if he can stabilize here. But the Bombard, he needs to keep alive. He doesn't have the front line for it. Men-at-arms are running. Crossbows are starting to fire down on the front line as well. Don Artie doesn't care about the Bombard for now. He just says, if you don't have anything to defend the Bombard, that is all that matters. So he is taking everything down in its path. And then what will LaSh do to be able to protect it? Yes, the villagers may be able to heal it, but they're not going to be able to heal it if the men-at-arms are shattering their souls. Absolute decimation. Don Artie will just continue to move forward now. More and more of those outposts have gone down. The trebuchets should move up, and the whole entire mass of LaSh is down. It's 30 minutes. He's at 29 economy. You never want to be under that number as far as the minute mark and economy mark, but he had a huge comeback chance. He was doing it, it felt like. And then he took a very bad fight in the middle, and Don Artie was able to snowball it from there, and game over. It is a match from Don Artie. What a different build we saw there with the Proxy early, second TC after the Wooden Fortress rush. But really good game by both of those. And thanks everyone for checking this out. If you watch this on Twitch, appreciate you guys. If you watch this on YouTube, throw the sub, thumbs up, comment on it, and let me know what you think.